Alright, boys. Another day, another cut content from AniNews. So today, we actually got a two-parter. Two parts, actually. I low-key almost missed it. I didn't notice there was a part one in the title. But yeah, there is two parts to this. So this one is called How the First Part of Elsa vs. Garfield Went the Novel. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess this one's focused on that, and then the next one will be more Emilia focused, probably. Most likely. So, alright, let's get into it.
On the anime.
Whoa, beginning.
Unlike what we saw in the anime, there was quite a bit more to the initial fight between Elsa and Garfield.
Alright.
Elsa was a lot more tactical when it came to how she approached her opponent.
Okay.
And because of this, it forced Garfield to have to rely on a partial transformation.
Oh.
Not only that, but there was also a whole nother level of planning from Subaru and the others that we weren't even made aware of. So let's take a look at all that and more as we go through the first half of cut content for episode 47.
Bet.
But first, this video is sponsored by Surfshark.
Surfshark. Alright, get your bag, bro. Get your bag. I gotta respect it. God damn. Okay, right here. Turn up the volume a little bit.
Covering Chapter 1 of Volume 15 of the Light Novel, Part 1.
My god, my bad.
Day. Now, let's get back to the video. Episode 47, Part 1. The Final Day of Roswell Manor. Covering Chapter 1 of Volume 15 of the Light Novel. Before we get started with Garfield's fight with Elsa, there was first a cutscene on the way to the mansion that went to show how Subaru and the others were planning their approach.
Okay.
It was a whole debrief of what to do and what to expect once they got there. The first topic was the inevitable reunion of Frederica and Garfield. As we find out, it had been 10 years since the two last saw each other.
Correct.
And because Garfield was too busy resenting Frederica for abandoning him, not once did he ever read any of the letters that she'd sent to him. Of course, now he knew that she was only trying to make a place for him. So it was for that reason that Subaru knew their reunion was sure to be a touching one. That being the case, he also felt the need to stress that time was limited. He needed Garfield to know that there wasn't going to be much of an opportunity to make up with each other.
Fair. I'm glad that Subaru let him know. I'm very glad that Subaru let Garfield know, like, hey, this is gonna get a little rough, you know. But the funny thing is, in the episode, they literally start talking to each other, Garfield and Frederica, in front of Elsa. Yo, that show was fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, cause it's like they're having like this like very wholesome, very nice reunion, 10 years in the making, and Elsa is just like, so y'all done? Like,
reason being that Petra and Rem required near immediate assistance. Their inability to fight back made it almost certain they would die unless someone came to help them.
Also, a very big issue that too. Petra and Rem, literally defenseless. Like literally completely defenseless. So like they're also something that you gotta worry about. Like there's a lot going on.
So, if that person was going to be Garfield, then Subaru wanted to make sure he was in the right state of mind and body to do it. One thing to note is that Garfield's body still wasn't fully recovered from what had happened earlier. Yes, Emilia did use her healing magic to fix any physical injuries, but that didn't help to recover any of the blood, mana, or stamina he'd lost.
Oh, so he still got, he doesn't have like a full healing, technically. Blood, mana, or stamina, he got less of that. Oh shit, wait, that's interesting context. Very good point there. Damn, that's not good.
It forced Garfield to have to rely on his blessing of the Earth Spirit. If he was able to make use of that, then his body would be fully restored by the time he got to the mansion.
Oh.
The only issue was that in order for the blessing to take effect, his feet needed to be making contact with the ground. Something that wasn't possible if he was sitting in the carriage. So, what Garfield did was, rather than sit in the wagon all the way to Sanctuary, he instead ran alongside it so his feet were touching the ground all the way there.
Genius. Wait, that's fucking genius. So wait, he is fully healed. He just, I think AniNews was just saying like how he wasn't, so like they had to find a way to do it with like the blessing. He did. This is fucking big brain as fuck.
Of course, he was holding on to the windowsill so as to not use too much energy. But just the sight of seeing him be dragged along was sure to make any bystanders think that he was trying to force his way in. It also didn't help that this was getting close to triggering Subaru's PTSD.
Yo, true. Yeah, that Subaru PTSD go crazy.
As much as he knew it was impossible, Subaru couldn't help but imagine Garfield getting dragged into the wheel much like how Juice did. But that was likely to be more damaging to the carriage than it was to him. Anyway, with Garfield's job now established, Otto was next to receive his, and he was put in charge of evacuating the villagers.
Right.
You see, Subaru knew that even if they weren't the targets for assassination, Elsa and Meili certainly weren't beyond killing them. So while Subaru would be focused with getting Beatrice, Otto would take Petra to the village and start clearing out the people there, thus giving everyone an idea of what they needed to do. Moving on to the start of Garfield's fight with Elsa. Immediately after she stepped into
wait, what did he put at the bottom here? What? It's like a message. Gore warning? Gore warning? Everybody, yo, chill, what?
To the start of Garfield's fight with Elsa. Immediately after she stepped in to interrupt the sibling reunion, she also threw one of her knives straight towards Garfield. It was an attack that definitely would have split the head of any normal person. But
why did he just use some...
Because this was Garfield.
He used a Mortal... Was that a Mortal Kombat fatality, bro?
The head of any normal person. But because this was Garfield, he knew that this was something that he could easily block against.
Okay.
So he decided the best course of action was to deflect it into the ceiling so that Elsa wouldn't be able to use it anymore. As she pulled out a spare to replace the one she'd lost, Elsa charged towards Garfield in a posture that indicated she was going for his ankles. That much was obvious just by looking at her. But this was actually nothing more than a tactical diversion.
Okay.
You see, the knife Elsa had thrown earlier actually had a string tied to it, allowing her to yank it from the ceiling and catch Garfield in a pincer attack of blades from both sides.
Oh.
The instant Frederica yelled to warn him it was coming, Garfield had already transformed his arm into its larger beast version. He then swung it with so much speed and force that even Elsa was caught off guard by it.
Dude! Man! The way this man is narrating this, I want to see this, bro! Fuck! This would have been such a peak fight! This would have been such a good fight to watch everything in detail. Oh my god, pain. Pain. Oh my god, man. But yeah, W editing though. W editing to give us a more of a visual representation, right? Like more like how it like would look like, I guess. Yeah.
Garfield had already transformed his arm into its larger beast version. He then swung it with so much speed and force that even Elsa was caught off guard by it. It was a moment of hesitation that gave Garfield the opportunity to dodge the knife coming from behind him. He was also able to shift his body in a way that positioned himself to counter Elsa.
Man.
So the end result was a block of Elsa's attack with a heavy swing of his shield. A parry strong enough to send her flying backwards and deal damage on impact.
Are we dead ass? A parry strong enough? I'm like, bro. Dude, that's such a crazy thing to like, bro, like the block. I'm like trying to like imagine the fight, right? I'm trying to like think of the fight, like how it would look like, man. Oh man, that would be sick, man. But yeah, blame COVID who ruined season 2 production. That is so unfortunate. That is so sad, bro.
As Frederica watched her brother fight so capably, she couldn't help but start to admire just how strong he'd become. It was clear that he'd spent the last 10 years working hard to do so. A realization that was starting to move her. That said, she wasn't the only one who now held Garfield's combat ability in fairly high regard. The assassin he'd just flung like a ragdoll found herself an appreciation of it as well. His recent display of power was something she too couldn't help but compliment.
Okay.
The fact she was even standing after what she'd just been hit by, though, was really more like a testament to her own power. So, this was what led Garfield to the conclusion that he needed to fight her alone.
Yeah.
When Frederica insisted that she stay and help, it wasn't just Garfield that told her that she'd just be in the way. Even Elsa said a few words that went to imply her presence would be more of a hindrance than a benefit.
Damn, not even just Garfield. Elsa said that shit too. Like, hey, get the fuck out of here, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You're just a hindrance, bro. Damn.
It was a point made painfully clear just by watching the two continue to fight each other.
Yeah.
What she saw was a seamless flow of movement similar to that of a dance. A constant exchange of dodges and blocks that left Frederica zero opportunity to interfere. The only thing she could do was stand back and watch, as anything else required an immense buildup of courage. Now, once Garfield had caught the knife with his mouth like how we saw in the anime, he actually made sure to shatter it with his teeth before letting it go. This time ensuring Elsa wouldn't be able to get it back like how she did before. This gave Garfield the advantage since Elsa now needed to create space to rebalance herself. But it was as she was in the process of doing that Garfield managed to grab her braid and give her face the Helsing treatment. Okay. What the anime didn't show here though was that Garfield believed the battle was as good as finished now. His thoughts raced as he believed the only thing left to do was snap her neck, cave in her skull, and grind her face against the wall until there was nothing left. A great
I like it. AniNews is like giving us I guess his own way of showing the fight. Yo, I like it though. I like it. It's very creative. It's creative. This is all we've got, bro. This is all we got, man. Pain.
His thoughts raced as he believed the only thing left to do was snap her neck, cave in her skull, and grind her face against the wall until there was nothing left.
God damn, Garfield.
A great plan and concept for sure. But by allowing his mind to wander away from the battle, it gave Elsa an opening to attack that Garfield was only able to dodge out of sheer instinct. She then followed it up with a flurry of slices, all while they were falling to the floor below.
Ah, okay. Okay, I like what he did with the slashes here. Yeah, okay.
Out of sheer instinct.
Sheer instinct,
She then followed it up with a flurry of slices, all while they were falling to the floor below.
Interesting.
Had it not been for his intuition, then Garfield would have lost the fight right there. But by using his shield and beast-like instincts, he was able to parry most of the attacks and keep the damage to a minimum.
So bro's just a parry master?
Now, it wasn't entirely necessary for Garfield to continue engaging in combat right now. He'd already accomplished his primary objective of sending Frederica to get Rem. The problem was that he couldn't remember what his other objectives were. Yes, one of them did entail defeating Elsa, but there was also a backup plan for just in case he couldn't. One that he couldn't seem to remember.
What the fuck? What? He forgot? He just can't remember? Garfield, my man. Yo, this better not be true, bro. This better not be true, bro. Don't...
So, to Garfield, the only reasonable approach now was to defeat Elsa himself. That way there wouldn't even be a need for a backup plan.
But you know what? I like that though. Defeat Elsa? Go in. Just defeat Elsa, so the backup plan that you forgot about, that you can't remember. So I guess we're not gonna need that. God damn, dumbass.
Now, while that was happening, Subaru was doing his part to make things easier for Garfield. You see, the main reason he was trying to get everyone out of the mansion was so that Garfield could use his full power.
Right.
He was sure that Garfield's superhuman strength would be on par with Elsa's.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The superhuman strength, the strength that he has, right? The transformation. It's just very he can't control it, right? He's out of control, bro. So definitely get everyone out of the mansion. Also the sheer size and all the destruction. Fair enough.
His main concern though was that Garfield's kind-heartedness would get the best of him. I mean, this was after all how Subaru had beat him. If Garfield held back out of concern for his allies getting in the crossfire, then the odds of him beating Elsa would be significantly less.
Makes sense.
So Subaru was here to make sure that that wasn't a problem. Since Petra and Rem had already been taken care of, that meant the only remaining obstacle was Beatrice.
Well, bro, can I just say that low-key Subaru's an underrated, well, what's the word for it, bro? Bro be planning. He be planning, bro. He be scheming. I swear, it's how many times has Subaru came up with the fucking plans? This guy got the blueprint, bro. He comes up with shit. Yeah, master strategist. Dude, I'm not gonna just breeze past that, cause the amount of times that Subaru has thought of plans, right? Even though he can physically fight, right? It's just that aspect of him, the battle IQ. Yeah, the battle IQ that he has is on a whole nother fucking level, bro. The vision. Bro got a vision, man.
But the instant she gets clear from the mansion, that's when Garfield won't have to hold back anymore, putting him in peak condition to face off against Elsa. The hardest thing about dealing with Beatrice, though, was that she was even worse than Roswaal when it came to the book.
Yikes, what? That's a crazy thing to say. Is AniNews right here? Do y'all agree with what AniNews just said? I mean... What? Let me hear that again.
The hardest thing about dealing with Beatrice, though, was that she was even worse than Roswaal when it came to the book.
she was worse than Roswell when it came to the book. Is this true? Yes, for 100 years. But like, okay, but like the way that she goes about her things and like the way she acts, is it really worse than Roswell? I don't know. Roswell's pretty fucking bad. But going back to that. Underrated survivor. He only comes up with the blueprint after dying multiple times to every threat. That's true. Subaru has that aspect going for him, like that thing going for him where he can just like return by death, right? The amount of times he can just reset and pretty much just get info. He gets info every single time. And obviously, we know how painful return by death is, bro. We know how much pain he's gone through. Not just physical, but mental. But like, if we just like go by the benefits, the fact that he's able to just keep trying over and over again, learn more and more, and pretty much just put that into an actual final plan for the correct loop, that's big. That's fucking huge. But yeah, I guess like, yeah, she's worse in another way than Roswell. Obsession to book due to desperation is more for her. Okay. In terms of attachment, she's worse than Roswell. Roswell's only attached to the book because of his belief in it and his master. But Beatrice has way less faith in the book, but still has more attachment to it. Got it. Mainly the attachment part. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
At least Roswell knew what he was doing. But Beatrice didn't seem to have the faintest idea.
I mean, he just said it. Yeah, he just said, like, Betty had no idea what she's doing. She has no idea what the fuck she's doing. But Roswell does. So I guess that's why you could definitely say that Betty also just is worse. Because it's the attachment aspect, but it's also the fact that, like, she's just going in blind, bro. Like, she just has no clue what the fuck she's doing.
So the more she denied his help, the angrier he became. Leading Subaru to realize that the past few loops have been a constant battle against his wrath. It was an anger that...
Wrath? Is that sorry. I'm gonna keep thinking of the fucking sins every time I... Anyway.
Leading Subaru to realize that...
Wait, it's Wrath 1? Wait, am I tweaking? Yeah, Wrath, right? I don't know why. Yo, the sins are like fucking my brain up. My bad. Anyway.
Faintest idea. So the more she denied his help, the angrier he became.
Yeah, my brain is
Subaru
dead.
to realize that the past few loops have been a constant battle against his wrath.
Yo.
It was an anger that was always being shifted from one place to the next. Starting with himself in the trials, then shifting to the witches who played him.
Yeah.
Moving to Garfield after what he'd done, then veering towards Roswell for being too stubborn to change. Finally ending up at Emilia, who refused to accept herself or the love of those around her.
Correct.
While that was the last time that Subaru had felt this way, it was here in this moment that he now found himself angry at fate itself.
Ooh, he's angry at fate itself? That's fucking crazy. Yeah, Raph is Minerva. I know. I don't know. Dude, I had the craziest brain fart. My bad. I guess I am like a my brain is like dying right now, but yeah, obviously Raph, Minerva, I know. My brain just had like crazy short circuit, yeah, my bad. But anyway, every time I hear like a sin, bro, like a normal like Raph or Envy, like just like AniNews or like anyone saying it, bro, I'm gonna think of fucking ReZero now. The fucking sins, dude. My brain is cooked, bro. To the point where I doubt myself if Raph is like even a... I don't know. That was a weird brain fart moment. Ignore me.
Had felt this way. It was here in this...
Also, yes. Subaru has every fucking sin. That's true. He is sin maxing. He has a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He has like every... He does have every sin. He got a Wrath. He definitely... Is he slothful? Is Subaru slothful? I guess, maybe. Yeah, the fucking, what else? Prideful? He's very prideful. I mean, yeah, you could say he has like every fucking sin. You gotta really think about it though. You gotta think about it hard, like every moment, but for sure, 100%. Yeah, fucking reason to break my fucking brain, bro. My brain trembles, bro. Deadass. My brain is fucking just all over the place, but yeah.
Moment that he now found himself angry at fate itself. He hated how the very concept was the reason for Beatrice's suffering. So he began to express that anger and a raging condemnation of the way she'd spent the past 400 years.
Bro's crashing out.
Eventually getting to the point of throwing doubts at Echidna. The instant he implied that she could have made a mistake, Beatrice responded by asking if he would ever doubt his own mother. It was a question to which Subaru immediately responded with yes. You see, there was a time back when Subaru was younger when his mother told him that a satellite was falling. While there was in fact a satellite plummeting to Earth, the information his mom told him was that it was falling into their prefecture. But the truth was that it was simply falling into the atmosphere. So when Subaru went back to school and told all his classmates how a satellite was going to hit the area, they all began to mock him for being so stupid. To make things worse, his mom didn't even remember that she'd made that mistake. So it was ever since then that Subaru refused to blindly believe anything his parents ever told him.
Damn.
Now, even after giving that whole story, Subaru still went on to recall all the arguments that ended with him and his dad in a fistfight. They were memories he felt would get Beatrice to better understand that doubting others was normal.
Oh, what the fuck? He's like filling in Betty about his own family, talking about his own family? Wait, that's some crazy info. Crazy context for that entire, like, moment between them. What?
But that was an idea that she simply couldn't comprehend. When Subaru finally got her to the point of asking him to be that person, there was a bit more explanation for the reasoning behind his unexpected response.
Thank you. Someone did mention it in the chat, right? Like, obviously, but it's just funny, right? In the anime, could you be that person for me? Hell no, Britt. The fuck? I'm not gonna be that person for you. How could I? And he just gets fucking banned, bro.
Yes, this question was directly linked to bringing an end to Beatrice's emptiness. But
yeah,
the approach she was taking to answering it wasn't the right one. It wasn't Subaru's job to tell her that he was that person.
Exactly. It's not Subaru's job to tell her that he was that person. Yeah. You guys told me that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. It's just the way they did it in the anime was so funny. It was like, if anything, it was just comical. Actually, very funny how they did it in the anime.
No. The whole purpose of the experiment was for her to choose.
Yeah, it's her.
Since there wasn't any right answer to who that person was, Subaru could only surmise that Echidna wanted to see if Beatrice would be able to choose on her own.
Exactly. It's not about Subaru saying it himself. It's the complete opposite. Betty has to choose. She has to be the one to say it and pretty much choose to be who to be that person. So it does make sense how why he said no, for sure.
It was a single question that ended up leading her straight into 400 years of loneliness.
Yep.
So if Subaru was to come and say that he was that person, well, that would just end up making all that time meaningless. For Beatrice to truly break free from the shackles of fate, then she would need to make the decision all by herself.
Yeah, she needs to do that herself. Make that decision herself. Break herself out of those chains. That makes sense, yeah.
Choosing who that person was something only she could do. That's why Subaru ended up responding the way he did.
Fair enough,
now,
honestly.
After he'd been ejected from the library and flung into the gardens, Subaru had a bit more to say to Meili. He was trying to convince her to look the other way. Seeing as how her schedule and plans had been completely ruined, Subaru attempted to get her to think that the best course of action was to simply retreat. It was obvious though that a crude reason like that wasn't enough to sway her. The fact that he could sense more demon beasts approaching from the yard was more than enough to prove that.
Yeah.
So, after Subaru and the others had run into the mansion to escape her, Subaru decided to ask Otto if he could use his blessing of language to negotiate with the beasts. Surprisingly, his ability actually works on them. But unfortunately, any conversation with them usually amounts to the demon beast just talking about how they're going to eat him.
Well, it works. It does work. It's just the conversations kind of just don't go anywhere. I'ma just eat you, buddy. I'ma fucking eat you. Okay.
So it really wasn't much of a conversation at all.
That's funny. Yeah, it's not even really a conversation anyway.
The repel stone they had would keep them safe from all other beasts except for one. It just so happened that the one beast immune to it was the one they'd come across.
Oh, fucking course, dude. Of course. They can repel any fucking beast. But of course they encounter the one dude, the one beast, the fucking guilty low that's just immune to it. Immune to debuffs, bro.
Bringing us to the end of the parts in the mansion and the first half of the episode.
Crazy.
As I'm sure you've noticed by now, It seems that ReZero has decided to skim on most of the fights in order to make room for the story. Which, if you ask me, I honestly don't mind if it means the plot gets portrayed in the best way possible.
You know what? Very good point there, Mr. AniNews. You have a very good point there. If it means to skip the fights for the plot and the story to actually get laid out, fair enough. Because, again, listen. The main point of ReZero is the story, the world building, the characters, the character development, right? That is the main, that's the bread and butter of ReZero. That's the main focus of ReZero. So, like, if it means to actually fit everything important in by just skipping the fights, fair enough. Now, would I have loved to actually see the full Garfield and Elsa fight, like, in full detail? 100% I would have loved that shit. That would have been very hype, right? But if it means to actually flesh out the story and the plot how it's supposed to and everything important, right? Fair enough. I'm fine with that. If all we're skipping is fights that pretty much have, like, you know, it's just fights, right? It's just fights, you can just skip that. Fair enough. Honestly, fair enough.
Sure, it is a bit unfortunate to lose some of the more intense action scenes, but
yeah.
I'd much rather have a coherent story than one with only lots of action.
Let them cook. Exactly. ReZero is, that's literally ReZero, right? Like, it's not really action. It's not focused on the action. It's better to have a coherent story for sure. Like, 100%, man. Yeah. Anime does a great job of getting you to see the main plot points and the main action in the story without filler stuff much, and dropping some hits here and there in the conversations. Yeah, correct. I think ReZero does that really well. Listen, the main focus is the story. It's not really the action. When there is action though, they do cook. All right, let's not get that twisted. When they do, this ain't solo leveling. Yeah. When they do have action though, they do cook. They do be cooking with the action. I'm not gonna, it's hype, but it's not the main thing.
With only lots of action. Anyway, the next half of the episode will be out tomorrow. So be sure to come back then to see more about Emilia's unknowable present.
Interesting.
Now, before I go...
Alright, so I guess he didn't have time for part 2? Alright, let's go to part 2, y'all. There is definitely another part here, so... let's get it. Isn't it unthinkable? What did he say? Did he say something else? Yeah, this arc didn't have that much action to begin with. Yeah. So the later seasons will have more action? Okay. I'm down for that. Listen. You know what? If you can focus on a lot of story world building and then eventually you just focus on fights, like a lot of fighting in the future, I'm down, bro. Because if you're able to do that, that means that the fights will also have way more weight with the world building and the characters being more developed. So like the fights, even though they're just fights, they will have a heavier weight just because of how much you've pretty much built up these moments and these characters. So I'm down. Third season is action throughout. Interesting. Is that why y'all motherfuckers are hyping it? Don't get me hyped. Don't, bro, don't get me hyped now. Yo, listen. I'm a big fan of the lore, the story. I'm down for some action though. Listen, especially ReZero. I think ReZero action hits differently. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we barely get any of it. Like we like starving out here. I guess we starving. So like every time there's an action scene, I'm like popping off. I fucking love that shit. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I mean, I do love my action. So I don't know. But listen, I think ReZero does an amazing job making me hype and love the series, even though it's like, bro, it's just like lore and like dialogue, but it's like the most hype shit ever. It's like the most interesting shit ever. I don't know how they do it. It's fucking amazing. But all right, let's see what part 2 is all about.
Yesterday we talked about the
Wait, unknowable present and Echidna's tears explained. Wait, he's gonna explain Echidna's tears? What do you got for us, AniNews? I mean, it was already. I mean, we kind of just talked about that already in the stream, but let's see.
But now it's time to switch gears to Emilia's unknowable present. While there weren't any extensive scenes excluded from the anime, There were a lot of subtle details you may have missed that helped to make the emotional climax that much more effective.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to the build-up that went into leading Emilia towards the answer of the trial. So I highly recommend watching to the end so you can see exactly how everything pieces together.
Let's go.
Let's begin. Episode 47, Part 2. Happiness Reflected Upon the Water's Surface. Covering Chapter 2 of Volume 15 of the light novel. With Fortuna's gentle voice being the first thing she heard, Emilia immediately found herself to be overwhelmed by a storm of emotions. She couldn't understand exactly why she was so moved by her mother's presence, but just the sight of her eyes was enough to bewilder her to the point of speechlessness.
Fair.
As Fortuna continued to brush her hair, she decided to tease Emilia in return for her comment about the dress, mainly pointing out how tired she looked. You see, even after being sent to the watering hole to clean herself up, Fortuna couldn't help but notice just how drowsy she still was. It was almost as if she was still half asleep or something. So Fortuna was teasing her for being so cumbersome. Now, after Emilia's hair was finished, the anime made it seem like she wasn't able to see her reflection. But that's not exactly what had happened.
You're right, yeah, someone mentioned, I did read the comment, I don't think I read it out loud. Yeah, you can't see her reflection because of some trauma stuff? Okay, let him cook now, let him cook.
Not exactly what had happened. While she was intent on seeing how she looked, Emilia found herself unable to commit to it. No matter what she did, she couldn't get her legs to move towards the mirror.
Oh,
This wasn't
shit.
because she couldn't see herself, though. It was more so because she didn't want to. There was
What the fuck? It's not like she couldn't, she just didn't want to?
this inexplicable feeling preventing her from moving any closer. So, as she stood just out of range of the mirror's reflection, that's when Juice arrived to save her from her predicament.
Okay.
It was almost instantly that he too commented on Emilia's peculiar behavior. You see, he had asked Emilia to treat him kindly today, a statement that implied that something was happening. Since Emilia had no idea what it was only natural that she ask about it. But this was what went to make Juice so confused, because the one who had asked to go to the lake in the first place was none other than Emilia herself. Although she couldn't remember, Emilia did feel like this was a request that she'd made once upon a time ago, so she was happy to be able to finally follow through with it. Once they had arrived at the lake, Emilia had put on yet another display of rather odd behavior.
She thought she resembled the witch, that's why? Is that actually why? Is that just it? I mean, it's not just that's it, but it does make a lot of sense. It does make sense. Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Emilia had put on yet another display of rather odd behavior. She was almost instantly captivated by the beauty of the scenery around her, making her unable to move as she tried to bask in all its splendor. With this being the second time she had dazed off into an expression of bewilderment, Fortuna had to ask her again if she was feeling okay. It was a question that ended up being answered by the grumbling of her stomach, leading the three of them to sit down and eat like how we saw in the anime. Now, the reason for Emilia's tears was because the only thing she wanted was for Juice and Fortuna to be happy. She wanted nothing more than for both of them to be able to be happy together.
Damn.
So, for the two of them to be exchanging laughs like how they were doing right here, well, that was the greatest joy that Emilia could have ever hoped for. Moving on to the scene with Archie.
It's just pain, bro. God, it's just like their dynamic is so good too. Like they're like pretty much meant for each other. Like, like we saw that backstory, man. That first trial, bro. Like, Fortuna and Juice, man. They were like these, bro. They're like these, man.
He also made sure to comment on the odd nature of Emilia's behavior. Just like everyone else had noticed, there was something about both her voice and face that made her seem different. She seemed to be a lot more grounded in comparison to how she usually was. Since Fortuna wasn't here this time to excuse it as her sleepiness, Emilia instead teased Archie for being so mean, causing him to panic and apologize numerous times over. It was after this that she then changed the topic to that of Juice and Fortuna. When Archie made the comment of how their relationship only needed time, it was the very fact that there wasn't any that caused her to start to break down. You see, Emilia knew that it was only a matter of time before Juice and Fortuna would have ended up together, whether it took months or years. She knew the day was sure to come when the relationship was going to blossom.
Yeah.
So this was a sight that she wanted to see more than anything. But as much as she yearned to celebrate the happiness of this couple with the entire forest, this world she was dreaming of simply didn't exist. The day she desired the most was one that was never coming.
Somebody give this girl, bro. The pain. It's just back-to-back pain, bro. Stop this. God damn, can Emilia just get a little... just give this girl some happiness. God damn, just trauma after trauma, tragedy after tragedy, man. And also, was he naked? Half naked in the illustration? I don't know. I didn't see.
As much as she would have loved to live the rest of her life in this perfect fantasy, the fact that she couldn't forget the fate of the two most important people to her was the very reason behind why she couldn't. This was a stance that Emilia seemed very intent on maintaining. But Archie's next words made it so much more difficult to do so. I mean, it would have been much easier for Emilia to handle them if he just reproached her for being careless and ungrateful.
Yeah, I mean, bro, look at these fucking lines, bro. Lady Fortuna has already passed away. Lord Archbishop's well-being or thereof is unknown. Everyone in the forest has been... Yeah, it's just bad, bro.
But the way he spoke as if out of sympathy instead of anger was what made them that much harder to stomach. Reason being that it was clear that he just wanted her to be happy. Emilia could tell that all he wanted was for her to be at peace. So, for her to willingly choose a path that was sure to be filled with numerous burdens and hardships, well, that was more than enough to cause Archie a little bit of heartache. It was a gentle feeling of compassionate sorrow that echoed through every one of his words.
Dude, Archie is such a W, man. Like, truly just an amazing fucking character, bro, and just an amazing person, man. The amount of support, it just like pretty much just feels like family, right? Like they pretty much call each other like siblings in the anime. I remember, like, the amount of support that he just gives Emilia, it's just so fucking just respect, man.
When Archie went on to
also, of course, the fact that he like pretty much just like with a smile on his face when he was dying just said like, Emilia, just keep going and don't look back, bro.
Question her choice of a future where getting hurt was a certainty. Emilia's initial response was that she didn't want to be hurt. She explained how she was going out there to search for a future where she wouldn't have to be hurt. A future where running and hiding wasn't something she'd have to do anymore. When given a response like this, it was only natural for Archie to follow up by asking about the wounds deeply engraved into her heart. Surely that future she was in search of wouldn't be able to bring back anything she'd lost already. So Archie wanted to know if she would still go out and look for it. This was the question that led her to declare how she wanted to be strong like everyone else.
Yep.
It was because she wanted to save others just like how she'd been saved by them that she was able to choose the world on the outside.
Wow, dude. Very well said, bro. That's why she kept like naming everyone and like all their traits, dude. The fact that she literally just wants to pretty much be like them, want to do what they can do, right? Like the whole her being saved by them and the way they've saved her, and she wants to do the same back. Fucking hell, bro.
That she was able to choose the world on the outside.
Yeah.
Now, when Echidna came around at the end of the trial, Emilia instantly regretted turning around to look at her. The feelings that came when she saw this witch's face on the brink of tears were ones that she never wanted at all.
Yeah, this is random. This is random as fuck. Like, this is definitely not what I was expected to see. Like, I saw Echidna, you know, like when like the characters have like the hair covering their face and they have like no eyes. I thought she was mad, but she's just crying. Like,
of tears were ones that she never wanted at all. So Emilia immediately wished to have never looked in the first place. As for Echidna, we don't know exactly why she decided to react the way she did.
Well, there we go. There we go. Again, a lot of speculation can be made. A lot of, you can say a lot, right? There's a lot of things you could say, a lot of speculations you can make, but at the end of the day, it's still all a mystery, huh?
But the novel does state how her mere presence was there only to instill bitterness.
Are we dead ass? Her mere presence was just there to instill bitterness? Is that what bro just fucking said?
The novel does state how her mere presence was there only to instill bitterness.
Wow. Okay. He never explained Echidna's tears. It's a clickbait title. Yeah, it's clickbait. Yeah. I mean, is it really that clickbait? I guess, right? Echidna's tears explained, and then you pull up to the video, and he goes, "We don't know. I don't know." Yeah.
So perhaps Echidna was feeling a bit envious of Emilia's ability to be content.
Echidna was feeling a little bit envious. See? I'm gonna point it out every single fucking time. Every time I hear a saying, bro. Envy, you say. envy, you say. She felt envy. Okay, which agreed feeling envy?
But the novel does state how her mere presence was there only to instill bitterness.
Sus.
So perhaps Echidna was feeling a bit envious of Emilia's ability to be content with a less than ideal world. Or maybe her inability to understand Emilia's decisions and feelings were causing a bit of inner turmoil.
I guess.
Whatever it was, Emilia couldn't be bothered to figure it out right now.
Based. Holy based. I mean, I can't be fucking bothered. You know, I can't be fucking bothered. Go away. Based. Yeah, the reason your brain rot is fucking real, bro. God damn.
Turmoil. Whatever it was, Emilia couldn't be bothered to figure it out right now.
Okay.
What she needed to do was determine how she was going to end the trial. As she looked over the cliff and down to the water below, the sight of her reflection was what allowed her to understand the answer she needed to come to.
Okay.
She began to think about the differences and similarities between this world and the one she belonged to, eventually leading her to the conclusion that there was a single element that was both different and the same. An element she could only identify as herself. I mean, the way everyone had been pointing out how she was acting so differently made it that much more apparent. So, by realizing that she was the component that didn't belong in either world, she understood that in order to complete the trial, she needed to accept herself. Only after acknowledging and understanding who she was in the world she was in would the second trial come to its end.
Okay.
Since that's what she needed to do, Emilia decided to force herself into a situation she'd been avoiding for the past century. You see, ever since she'd awoken from her slumber, not once had she ever looked at her reflection. She was always too scared and afraid to see what she looked like.
Oh, that's why she passed the fucking trial, because she looked at the reflection, she looked at herself, she accepted herself, and that is why the second trial has come to an end. Okay, okay, see what I mean? That context, I mean, that makes so much sense. What, she's looking right now? You know what, you're right. Unless I'm misunderstanding here. She is looking at herself right here. Wait a damn minute. Maybe just like accepting herself though, right? Like actually like being able to look at herself in the reflection and like accepting how she looks and who she is, maybe? I don't know. There was in fact no happiness reflected there. Yeah. Okay, I mean, yeah, but that makes a lot of more sense.
Not once had she ever looked at her reflection. She was always too scared and afraid to see what she looked like. Having awoken...
Okay, true. Yeah, why? She's literally looking at herself right here, though. What? Anyway, whatever.
She was always too scared and afraid to see what she looked like. Having awoken in a body that was completely unfamiliar to her, Emilia's immature heart just wouldn't allow her to. It was a feeling of fear that only stacked every time the villagers turned themselves away from her. And though she didn't know before, she eventually came to understand that her features bore similarity to the Witch of Envy.
Correct.
So it was the distress that came with knowing she was similar to such an evil creature that made her not ever want to look at herself. Not only would she avoid any of the mirrors that she'd come across, but she'd also trained herself to avoid her reflection in the water. That's why she couldn't move any closer to the mirror in the room.
Ah, okay, that's the explanation of the fucking mirror, dude. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, just didn't want to see her fucking reflection, dude.
Water. That's why she couldn't move any closer to the mirror in the room.
Well then.
She still wasn't at the point where she accepted herself enough to look at her reflection. While the anime does try to convey this with a series of flashbacks, it's something you wouldn't have picked up unless you were looking for it. I mean, it has been a part of Emilia that's been in front of our face the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, one of the smaller clues was from the fact that Puck was always in charge of her appearance. It was one of the ways he'd been protecting her fragile heart from the wounds of her past. Given that this was the part of her that needed to change, Emilia made sure to open her eyes the moment she was about to hit the water. That way she'd finally have to face the reflection she'd always been hiding from. While she was a bit upset that she didn't look as much like Fortuna as she expected, nothing was going to hinder the feelings of happiness that came from this world of her dreams.
Damn, that's deep. That's so much deeper, bro. That's so much deeper than I would have ever thought. If I'm not watching this kind of content, that scene would just not have as much depth and as much fucking meaning as much as bro just explained, bro. Like, come on now. Damn, that shit hits way more now.
Face the reflection she'd always been hiding from. While she was a bit upset that she didn't look as much like Fortuna as she expected, nothing was going to hinder the feelings of happiness that came from this world of her dreams. So Emilia was able to end the trial understanding exactly who she was in the world she was in, leaving only one trial left for her to do.
And there we go.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for today. So be sure to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed
All
the
right.
video.
Well, that was a very useful cut content. That was definitely very needed. A lot of context on the fights, right? The whole, like, that fight with Garfield and Elsa, bro. Damn. We were robbed, but robbed for good reason. Okay? Definitely robbed for good reason. We needed the plot to move forward. We need the story to be fleshed out completely. I can see why they did it. They skipped that fight. They need to get that plot going. I can see it, bro. I can definitely see it. So yeah, man. That's gonna be it for today's cut content, man. AniNews, thank you so much once again for the cut content. You are the GOAT, man. That's gonna be it for today's cut content video. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below. The full uncut version to all ReZero content will be on Patreon. As always, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.